Why most managers crack under pressure. Let's be honest, pressure is part of the job in F&I. The desk is blowing up your phone, sales is stacking deals, and customers are getting impatient. The numbers are on the line. Some managers thrive in that chaos, but most, they crack. They get flustered, make mistakes, and watch their numbers tank. Why does this happen? And more importantly, how do you become the one who stays cool, sharp, and in control no matter how hot it gets? I'm Ryan. Today I'm breaking down the real reason most F&I managers fold under pressure and what you can do to become unbreakable. This isn't just theory. This is what I've learned from years in the box and from watching the best in the business. Let me start with a quick story. Early in my F&I career, I had one of those days where everything went sideways. 5 deals landed at once, the desk was yelling for contracts, and customers were upset about the rate. I could feel my heart pounding out of my chest. I rushed, I skipped steps, and I made mistakes that cost me money and trust. That day taught me something. Pressure doesn't create cracks, it exposes them. The cracks were already there in my process, my mindset, and my habits. The pressure just made them impossible to ignore. And I know I'm not alone. I've seen great F&I managers have their worst months right when the store needs them the most, simply because the pressure got to them. But I've also seen average managers become top performers by learning how to handle the heat. A lot of people think staying cool under pressure is a personality trait. Ryan, you're just naturally calm. That is a myth. The truth is that managers who stay unbreakable have built habits and systems that protect them when things get crazy. It's not about being born with nerves of steel. It's about preparation, discipline, and self-awareness. I've met plenty of so-called naturals who fall apart when things get tough. And I've seen quiet, steady managers become the absolute rocks under fire. The difference is always in the preparation. Guys, if you're running $1,500 a copy and are a bottom performer in your store, I want you to join our community. It's a free community that we created for the top 1% of F&I managers in the country. You get weekly calls, you get access to the best content that will teach you how to run $3,000 per copy. Click the link below in the description and join our community. Now let's get back to the video. So why do most F&I managers crack under pressure? Here's what I see over and over. First, they don't have a real process. When things get busy, they start winging it, skipping steps and hoping for the best. That is when mistakes happen. Second, they let their emotions run the show. They get frustrated, anxious, and defensive, and that energy bleeds into every deal. Third, they don't reset. One bad deal ruins the next 3 because they didn't take a breath and couldn't get back to neutral. Fourth, they try and do everything themselves. They don't communicate with the desk, sales, or accounting, so they end up buried in problems they could have avoided. Finally, they don't take care of themselves outside of work. If you're running on fumes, pressure will break you every time. Let's talk about the pressure loop. Here's how it usually goes. You get behind on one single deal and you start rushing, you make a mistake, and now you're even further behind. The desk is frustrated, the customer is frustrated, and you start doubting yourself. Self-doubt leads to more mistakes, more stress, and before you know it, you're in a downward spiral. The worst part? Most managers don't even realize it's happening until it's way too late. They blame the market, the store, customers, but the real problem is the loop that they're stuck in. Let's flip it. Here's how the best F&I managers stay unbreakable even on the craziest days. I call these the 7 habits of pressure-proof F&I managers. Habit 1, you have to build a process you can trust. When the heat is on, you fall to the level of your training, not your expectations. You got to map out your system, drill it, and run it every deal no matter what. Habit 2, you got to control your breathing and your self-talk. When you feel the pressure rising, you got to slow down, breathe, remind yourself, I've got this, one deal at a time. It sounds simple, but it works. Habit 3, reset between deals. After a tough customer or a stressful moment, take 30 seconds to clear your head. Stand up, stretch, close your eyes, breathe. Don't let one bad deal poison the next 3. Habit 4, you have to communicate. Don't try to be a hero. If you need help from the desk or sales, ask for it. If something's missing, speak up early. Pressure is easier to handle when you're not carrying it alone. Habit 5, you gotta take care of your body and mind outside of the office. You gotta get enough sleep, you gotta eat real food, and you have to move your body. The sharper you are physically, the more resilient you'll be mentally. Habit 6, you gotta prioritize and triage. When you're buried in deals, don't try and do everything at once. Knock out the cleanest, fastest deals first to build momentum, then tackle the tough ones. Habit 7, learn to say no to distractions. When you're under pressure, every interruption costs you time and focus. Protect your workflow, set boundaries when you need to. Let me give you a few practical examples. If you're buried in deals, don't rush, prioritize. Knock out the cleanest, fastest deals first to build momentum. If a customer is upset, don't match their energy. You gotta lower your voice, slow your pace, and listen. Most of the time, people just wanna feel heard. If you make a mistake, own it fast. Fix it, learn from it, and move on. Don't let shame or frustration drag you down. If you feel yourself spiraling, step away for a minute. Even a short walk or a few deep breaths can reset your nervous system and get you back on track. And here's a big one. Keep a pressure playbook. Write down what works for you when things get tough. Maybe it's a quick breathing exercise, a playlist, a mantra. When you feel the heat, open your playbook and use it. Here's the bottom line. Pressure is never going away in F&I, but you get to choose how you respond. The managers who win are the ones who prepare, stay present, and keep their standards high no matter what's happening around them. Pressure doesn't make diamonds, it reveals who's been doing the work. If you want to be unbreakable, start building your habits now, before the next storm hits. And remember, you're not alone. Every great F&I manager has felt the heat. The difference is they learned how to use it as fuel and not fear. If you're tired of feeling like you're always one bad day away from cracking, start building your process, your habits, and your mindset now. The next time the heat is on, you'll be ready and you'll stand out. If you've got your own story about pressure in F&I or a tip that's helped you stay cool, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear what's working for you and what you're still struggling with. If you want more real-world F&I strategies, hit subscribe and join our free community linked down in the description below, where you can be a part of the top 1% of the F&I in the country. I'm here to help you win, not just survive. Thanks for watching, and remember, pressure is just another chance to prove you're built for this. I'll see you in the next one.